Hello Tubesters, it's me Gav and welcome to another video. This is the second work in progress, I had to think then, but it is the second work in progress of the 1 in 35 scale Evolution Miniatures Panzergrenadiers for the Eastern Front. I've completed the jacket bar the buttons, which I'm going to just do a quick bit of research on and see if they were cloth covered or metal, wood, whatever. I've done all the, I should have said, the last video I said it was Splinter. Well, it's actually Oak Leaf. Oak Leaf's my favourite, and I've been waiting for a while to have a go at it. So I've done all the camouflage itself, the base layers, highlights, shadows, you name it. The last couple of nights I've had a go on those. I've done the basic details on the leather belt. I've done a couple of highlights on the STG 44 pouches and the base coats on the bread bag at the rear. So if we pop down to the desk, we'll have a look and see the amount of progress I've made. Right guys, thanks for joining me at the desk or the bench, and we'll take a quick squiz at the camo jacket that I've been working on. See if we can get in a bit closer. I really enjoyed working on this. I'm using the Scale 75 Waffen-SS camouflage kit, which is half a dozen paints, which doesn't just do this particular jacket. It does I think mainly the autumn type colours and the Italian one. I've tried to highlight the goldy brown bits and obviously put shadows in those as well, which, to say it's a 1/35 scale, that's an art in itself. There is an art to do it, and getting all the highlights and lowlights prepped up first on the base layer of the jacket itself. But I'm quite, for a first attempt, it's quite a good building block. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's coming out quite nice. As it says in the instructions to do the camo, they actually have a guide, and it happens to be Oak Leaf pattern camo. So I've been following their guide, and I've gone round. Let's see if I can get another pointy stick. Oh, here we are. The dark brown. You go round again as a last paint, just to go around the edges of everything. So in itself it can be time consuming, but it's really enjoyable. As I say, I enjoy painting, so it's it's all fun. I'll quickly point out, maybe if I can, the buttons. See, there's a couple of buttons there. I've just got to look at some smocks online and see what they actually were. I've put some, as you know, I love the Vallejo colour whole red, and I've mixed that in with some normal black Vallejo paint, and then given it some highlights just to show a bit of leather wear in it, and also down on the belt, if you can see that. Some of it will be covered up with the belt, with the water bottle and things, but I know it's there. So bread bag, I've gone for a bluey green. Obviously, you guys probably know there's literally a dozen shades of olivey green, blue green, grey, buff, whatever they happen to make at the time. And because I've gone for the green pouches on the other side, I wanted to make this a bluey green. But obviously it's got to have a lot of work done to it yet, with shadows and highlights and scuffed up a bit. I just started working on these proper last night. Now these ammo pouches, they can be topped with like red orangey leather, so that whole square bit there can be orangey leather if you wanted to. These again can be buff or bluey green. I didn't want them to do, although the artwork showed them buff, it's because the artist had used the green, I don't know what is it, spring whatever, camo reversible, and he'd done buff, and I'd imagine it's, or she, and I would imagine, like myself, he's done it for the pouches to stand out a bit. So if I'd have done buff on these, they would have slightly been merged in with the camo, if that makes sense. So I decided to go for a green. What I'm going to do is, these ones will have an orangey brown leather straps here, and then I believe it's white stitching. I've got to go back to my resource and have a look, but some white stitching around the outside is quite pronounced. Obviously there's a belt buckle got to go in there as well, and a couple of rings on the Y yoke. So that's my progress, guys. I should say I'm leaving the hand off at the moment. I'm going to the hand and the STG-44 assault rifle. Let me just, where's my pointy stick? Just because that would have been coming down here and screening off. You'd never get a decent paint job around it. So I'm going to have to stick that in, and then work filler, or it's not a nice way to do it, but sometimes you have to leave it off in sub-assembly. And the gloves will be bluey grey, but again, until I've stuck the STG-44 on. I haven't done, although it might look like it, that the white here is just, well, you can't really see with a bright light, but the white is actually still the dusting I've put over with the auto primer. So that's got to be worked on tonight. So let's give her one more, we'll give him one more twirl round. Managed to get into. They've got some lovely seam work on these jackets, and I've been able to get some nice shadow areas in those as well. So guys, thank you very much for stopping by on my number 2 work in progress, and I will catch you again on another video. Cheers.